Hey everyone, it's Charles here again. This time I'm going to cover Museum of the Microstar, made by Rust. We're just going to jump into this. From what I hear, this is one of the more graphically impressive Oculus Rift demos. I won't be playing with an Xbox 360 controller, except for this start screen, because you can't use that for some reason.
On behalf of the Hedron Historical Group, welcome to the Museum of the Microstar. Hedron hopes your rematerialization was pleasant and physiologically accurate. Your ability to move will be restored shortly. If you still feel nauseous at that time, the restrooms can be found ahead, but unfortunately they are currently closed for repairs. You may be wondering why you can hear my voice. For your convenience, Hedron was kind enough to implant a Hedron-certified audio device inside of you during the teleportation process. After the conclusion of your visit to the museum, you may elect to have your implant removed for a small fee. To begin the audio tour, please approach the first exhibit, and your audiotropic implant will automatically reactivate.
It's impressive particle effects, I'll give them that. B is jump, A is interact, start is reset orientation, that's my little waypoint that tells me which way my body's facing. Yeah, that's what it does. Okay. That door scared me. You know, I haven't tried a lot of Oculus Rift demos, but for excluding scans of human models, this is definitely the most graphically impressive demo I've played yet. Welcome to the Museum of the Microstar. Entrance, fossil fuels, closed, nuclear section, bioenergy section, exomineral section, Microstar. Just testing out that orientation.
Wood was a hard, fibrous structural tissue found in the stems and roots of trees. It was used for hundreds of thousands of years as both a fuel source and as a construction material. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit.
I'm trying to... interact with this. I thought A was to interact. But I'm pressing everything. Nothing's working.
The smoke from
There we
burning
go.
wood is believed to be the first man-made airborne carcinogen. At its peak, wood was grown at the rate of just over 10 billion tons per year, but production dropped precipitously after the first Great Burn. It was not until the second Great Burn that the last wild trees finally went extinct. Believe it or not, the sample you see here is not actually real wood. It is Hedron's patented textured wood product. After the second Great Burn, Hedron scientists managed to bioengineer a few new species of tree based on DNA stored in Hedron's secure extraplanetary gene vault. Hedron is now the sole producer of textured wood product, samples of which are available in our gift store. Wood was a hard, fibrous structural tissue found in the stems and roots of trees. It was used for hundreds of thousands of years as both a fuel source and as a construction material. Click this. Coal used by humans has been traced back as far as 2000 BC, but it was not until the 20th century AD that it became a prominent source of energy. While coal proved to be a useful source of energy, it was also a contributing factor in the destruction of Earth's original biosphere. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. Historians believe the massive increase in coal use can be traced back to an advertising campaign called Christmas, which featured a coal delivery man named Santa. Despite its popularity and industrial utility, coal use ultimately declined due to the depletion of coal reserves shortly before the first Great Burn.
Yeah, so you have to get to the far left of the sign and press A to make sure it works.
Petroleum was a naturally occurring flammable liquid, consisting of a complex mixture of hydrocarbons of various molecular weights and other liquid organic compounds. Extracted primarily via drilling, it became the basis for most human manufacturing and food production. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. The rise of petroleum production also allowed for the development of humanity's first mechanical symbiote, called the automobile. Humans in some cultures spent most of their lives living inside these primitive mechanical creatures, roaming the continent looking for both food and oil. This practice was particularly prevalent in a place called Los Angeles, where Hedron paleontologists recently discovered preserved automobile fossils embedded in a gigantic tar pit.
Sounds like some bad stuff went down. I went to the La Brea tar pits in March of 2007. You know what? We're going to see if I can jump off here. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit.
Thank you for using the Hedron emergency teleportation system. Despite your carelessness, you've been safely teleported back to the museum's entrance. A nominal rematerialization fee of 300,000 unified Hedron dollars has been charged to your account.
Okay, that was fun. I really like these particles, though. They feel more in my face than anything I've experienced yet, because they're just flowing all around me. Alright, let's go back to where we were.
Wood was a hard, fibrous structural tissue found in the stems and roots of trees. It was used for hundreds of thousands of years as both a fuel source and as a construction. Coal use by humans has been traced back as far as 2000 BC, but it was not until the 20th century AD that it became a prominent. Petroleum was a naturally occurring flammable liquid, consisting of a complex mixture of hydrocarbons of various molecular weights and other liquid. Methane hydrate is produced when methane becomes trapped in the crystalline structure of frozen water. While it was once a powerful and pervasive source of energy, it also produced tremendous amounts of greenhouse gases, which ultimately caused the first Great Burn. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. Methane hydrate was originally discovered in undersea deposits at the Earth's North Pole. Initially, the extraction process proved too expensive for most corporations, but due to global climate change and the subsequent reduction of Arctic ice flow, methane hydrate extraction became economically feasible in the early 21st century. Though this industry was very profitable, the leaked methane began accruing in the atmosphere at exponential rates. Unfortunately, most methane hydrate industries went bankrupt shortly after the event now known as the First Great Burn, as atmospheric firestorms caused the death of over 97% of Earth's carbon-based life forms. Even Hedron's extraction facilities closed for several hours as our surviving organic employees were lovingly retrofitted with bionic rebreather units.
I need to start paying more attention to what they're saying. I'm too busy looking at that. I'm assuming Microstar thing. I'm assuming that's the Microstar. Damn nanites.
Originally discovered in the late 18th century, uranium is the only terrestrially occurring fissile isotope. It has been used for a variety of different purposes throughout history, including the production of medicine, weapons, and most of all, radioactive glass. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. These two samples are pitchblende and automite. Pitchblende was once a primary uranium ore, known since the 15th century, but not extracted in earnest until the 20th century. Automite is a rare crystalline concentration of uranium, now exhausted due to its use in luxury condiments. Pitchblende and automite became an afterthought in the production of uranium, after the first uranium-producing cattle were cloned by Dr. Jackson Fistweather in Omaha, Nebraska.
So one of the reasons I'm so quiet is I'm trying not to get too sick here. This demo, it's like the I think it was a 6th Sense Tuscany demo, where, like in the original Tuscany demo, you know, wherever you look and if you push forward, wherever you're looking, that's where you'll go. But in this, your neck, your head movement is separate from your body movement, and I still haven't gotten used to that. So you know, when I look in a direction, I push forward. I don't go in the direction I'm looking. It makes me feel queasy. And in conjunction with the right analog stick, trying to balance that so I don't make myself too sick. So I'm really enjoying this demo. I like the low narrative that they've built up here, and I think it looks great. I'm just trying to make sure I can get through the whole thing. Looks like this is an elevator. I guess I'll try it. Oh, okay. Don't want to fall here. I can't get to work for now, so I'll go to the next exhibit.
Originally discovered in the late 18th century, uranium is the only terrestrially occurring fissile isotope. It's been used for a variety of different purposes throughout history, including the production of medicine, weapons, and most of all, radioactive glass. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next. With the destruction of Earth's atmosphere, the greatest surviving minds in science turned their attention to making the planet livable again. While a number of approaches were explored, bioengineered life forms such as this algae were most successful. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. This algae was engineered for carbon sequestration. Algae farms often covered hundreds of square miles and, due to the smell and resident brain-eating amoeba, made swimming exceedingly unpleasant. It wasn't until the last of these farms died out that beaches became popular again, and remained popular until the Great Water Polo Inquisition banned all aquatic activities on planet Earth.
Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah. Bad stuff happened on Earth. Sounds like Earth sucks now. I've missed some key details, I think, but... Oh, man. Alright, this is me. Let me take a sip of water. I usually have apple juice because the sugar, I think, or the sweetness helps. But I'm all out. Okay, that's not gonna work. I'm also on an empty stomach, so I think I'll eat after this. See, 4 more exhibits? I don't know. Looks like there's another level, but I don't know if I can access that. Unless that's where I
This is an example
started.
of version 2 of Hedron's hydrogen-producing uber fungus. Designed to be a food source and increase hydrogen levels in the atmosphere, it was the first bioengineered fungi to see widespread deployment. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. Its successor, the uber fungus Mark IV, was a much more efficient hydrogen producer and significantly more tasty. Uber fungus Mark IV, which was much more resistant to fire, radiation, and extreme cold, would eventually go on to cover 1/4 of the Earth's landmass. The dramatic increase in atmospheric hydrogen caused by these fungi are believed to be a contributing factor to the Second Great Burn.
Second Great Burn, Jesus. Sounds gross. If you can hear it, I'm not sure how. Hopefully the game audio is loud enough that you can hear all this, or this is a big waste. And I'm not up to repeating this at the moment.
Epimethinium G was a bioluminescent airborne bacteria created by Hedron scientists after the First Great Burn. It was primarily engineered to remove methane from the atmosphere, but its soft glow was later added by the Army Corps of Atmospheric Beauticians. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. Records suggest that in areas of particularly high methane concentration, colonies of bacteria would form massive glowing clouds. However, scientists and historians can only speculate about the appearance of these clouds, as there are no visual records from this century, and since the last wild bacterial colonies were killed off in the Second Great Burn. Domesticated Epimethinium G, such as this sample, remained one of Hedron's best-selling products, due to its agreeable personality and charming retro aesthetic. Looks like I'm almost done. Neofulgurite is a rare, energy-rich exomineral that powers many of Hedron's most popular products. Currently, neofulgurite can only be found on the surface of one exoplanet, Gliese 581g. But Hedron's terraforming scientists are confident that someday in the not-too-distant future, other useless planets could begin producing neofulgurite as well. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. Neofulgurite can only be produced by violent planetary storms. When lightning strikes the unique sands on the surface of Gliese 581g, it causes the spontaneous formation of an energetic crystalline structure. Due to the density of energy bound up in that structure, neofulgurite crystals are extremely volatile. These crystals, like the sample in front of you, have been known to produce explosions upwards of 600 megatons. But that doesn't stop our brave Hedron employees from very bravely venturing into the storms of Gliese 581g and collecting neofulgurite crystals by hand. It's an incredibly exciting and fulfilling career. If you'd like to learn more about becoming a Hedron prospector, be sure to visit your local Hedron recruitment office.
Sounds like a terrible idea. No, thank you.
This is the only known sample of taconite, a baffling substance discovered by Hedron submariners and the crew captains of a sunken 17th century Spanish galleon. Based on documents found aboard the ship, Hedron anachronistic historians conclude that the sample was brought to Earth by a time traveler, who was subsequently killed for wearing funny clothes. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. Scientific efforts to date the sample are believed to be unsuccessful, though sometimes quantum temporal dating has produced encouraging results. In fact, many scientists still contend that we have merely forgotten what we knew we forgot about the taconite sample. But Hedron archivists have decided that, as a result of the Kenyan paradox and the neither 3 nor 8 day war, research on the taconite sample should be indefinitely suspended, until such time as we potentially remember to forget what we forgot to remember. Until that day, the sample will remain here at the Museum of the Microstar. Unless it doesn't, of course. Shortly after its discovery by a Hedron research expedition, gravitanium was used to construct the first and only perpetual motion machine. Scientists hoped the machine could finally solve mankind's energy problems. Instead, it created terrible problems of its own. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit. During the second round of testing, research scientists lost control of the perpetual motion machine. Its exponential acceleration curve ultimately generated a fireball that destroyed much of the Great Lakes region of North America. As a result of that incident, which came to be known as the Rust Belt Melt, all known governments signed the Buffalo Standstill Treaty and outlawed further research on perpetual motion machines. Gravitanium has since found use in microstar cores, as well as the deck plating of zero-gravity facilities, such as interstellar ships and space hockey arenas.
Space hockey, I want to play that with the Rift. Yeah, I think these exominerals are gonna mess with my eyeballs after I take this off due to their unstable nature. Oh yeah, I forgot to read that sign. If I can read it. Resolution might be too low. Do not take hollow photos of gravitanium. Do not stare at the gravitanium. Too late, I did that. Do not pose for the gravitanium. Do not make wishes on the gravitanium. Do not high five the gravitanium. That sounds like a good idea. Do not tap on the gravitanium. Can you crouch? I don't think I can crouch. Yeah, nothing I'm pressing lets me crouch. Do not make light of the gravitanium. Yeah, I'll just read this on the video. And I can be able to read the rest with the Rift. Phew, okay. Where does this go? To conclude the once-in-a-lifetime experience, please. Okay, I'll do that after this. Actually, yeah, I'll do that. I was thinking about jumping off again, but...
The crown jewel of this museum is, of course, the Hedron FX1 Microstar. Ignited around a gravitanium core, this microstar constitutes the first self-sustaining artificial fusion reaction in the history of history itself. This glowing achievement provides a beacon of hope and prosperity during humankind's darkest moments, and while it ultimately caused the destruction of planet Earth and all known life on its surface, the FX1 Microstar finally allowed the rest of us to cast off our planetary chains and break free of our desolate terrestrial prison. Microstars such as this one now power the spacecraft and planetary power grids of the entire Hedron interstellar trade network. They have allowed Hedron to blaze countless trails through the galaxy in every imaginable direction, and over time, Hedron has itself grown to become the radiant star at the center of the known universe. Today there are many sides to Hedron, but all of them continue to face forward. So as always, Semper ad Futurum. Hedron is the future.
Hedron doesn't sound like a very nice company. And I didn't pay attention to all the details because I'm trying not to get too queasy here, but they're sounding kind of like an Aperture Science corporation, but way, way worse. Though I could be completely off. I'm sure if you're watching the video, you have a better idea. That's very cool, though. I want to jump off again, but I want to see if something happens when I get on the elevator to exit. I couldn't get the other elevator to work. I don't know if I was doing something wrong. It made a noise, so it was recognizing my input, but...
On behalf of the Hedron Historical Group, thank you for visiting the Museum of the Microstar. We hope you have been sufficiently impressed by the wonders exhibited here. But they are more than a mere demonstration of Hedron's unmatched technological prowess. They're a record of our history and the history to come. Be sure to visit the Microstar gift shop after your exit teleportation concludes. As a reminder, should you wish to have your audiotropic implants removed during teleportation, Hedron is glad to accommodate you for a small fee of 10,000 unified Hedron dollars. Glad by, and thanks for visiting.
It's making a noise. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if these don't actually work. Yeah, whoa, shit. No, okay. No, am I on it? Okay. I guess I was pressing the wrong arrow, which I didn't know that you could do that. Alright, so this is the beginning, it seems. Let's see if the other elevator does anything. And then I'll quit.
Wood was a hard, fibrous structural tissue found in the stems and roots of trees. It was used for hundreds of thousands of years as both a fuel source and as a construction material.
Oh man, wish I could sprint.
Traced back as far
Can I
as
sprint?
2000 BC.
No.
But it was not until the 20th century AD that it became a prominent source of energy. Petroleum was a naturally occurring flammable liquid, consisting of a complex mixture of hydrocarbons of various molecular weights and other liquid organic compounds. Methane produced from methane becomes trapped in the crystalline structure of frozen water. While it was once a powerful and pervasive source of energy, it also produced tremendous amounts of greenhouse gases, which ultimately caused the first Great Burn.
I'm sure I
Hit the
could have.
sign if you'd
I wonder
like
if the
to
other
learn
way was
more.
faster.
Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit.
Okay, I need to stop
Originally
jumping.
discovered in the late 18th century,
Oh,
uranium is the
God.
only terrestrially occurring volatile isotope. It has been used for a variety of different purposes throughout history, including the production of medicine, weapons, and most of all, radioactive glass. Click the sign if you'd like to learn more. Otherwise, please continue to the next exhibit.
Okay, hold on. Oh, God. I'm not sure if this is just because of the empty stomach or if I'd be feeling pretty shitty either way. I've never really said in previous Oculus Rift videos I've never gotten queasy from a game before. It's the worst I felt using this. Ah, it looks pretty. I have it on my second monitor as well. We're almost done. Just give me a second. How are you doing? How's your day going? Any messages? Nope. Okay, let's finish this up. Ah, okay. I want to jump in this, but let's see where this goes first. Man, that's steep. Jump over that. Now I think it just rains back around to the elevator. Alright, let's jump in this thing. I'm sure that'll be great for my stomach. Oh, never mind. Okay. Well, let's jump down here then. Whee!
Due to the terms laid out in the Little Houston Accord, Hedron is unable to increase the height of the safety railings. Please be more careful.
Huh. Well, I wasn't expecting that to happen, but... Alright, we're done. I'm gonna go get something to eat. And hopefully I can still go out. Hopefully I'm not too messed up. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This is a long one, so... I understand if you don't want to watch it all. Okay. See you guys soon.